Good day, I am Mr. Barroso, currently teaching specialized mathematics subjects of STEM students. I am now the senior high school coordinator, subject group head in mathematics, and master teacher to Atensa National Comprehensive High School. Pre-calculus is one of the specializations taken by the students who will enroll in academic under science, technology, engineering, and mathematics strand. Most of the schools offer this subject during the first semester of the grade 11 STEM students because this is a prerequisite subject before they can enroll in other specializations like basic calculus and general physics 1. Mathematics learning is one of the main goals of teaching mathematics. Many researchers have looked on ways and different perspectives to improve mathematics achievement. Among this is considering how students learn inside the class, which was categorized into group, period, and solo learning. These variables will be extensively discussed and research will be exhausted to provide better understanding of the research problem. According to Chapman, solo study or self-study refers to the study of oneself, in particular one's thinking and action. Bosworth 1990 stated that self-study is more productive than group study, and students learn more while studying alone. They can give proper time and concentration to their studies. Besides grouping students, one way students could also learn is through paired learning. It is a cooperative learning approach in which students are paired with another student. Moreover, according to Clark 2012, as cited by Stearns 1999, group of researchers found that by working together, children learned to listen to the teacher and to each other in a way that was self-edifying. Students by group that learn by group than by doing it by partner or alone. But the fact cannot be denied that not all are comfortable studying with group. To fulfill this gap, this research will describe the learning techniques of STEM students in pre-calculus to suggest strategies fit for all learners learning through solo, paired, or group scenario. Will ensure diverse learning strategy that could possibly lead to different learning successes of students. The purpose of this study is to explore the phenomenological dimension on the learning strategies of STEM students in pre-calculus. The research objectives of the study are describe the learning situations and learning strategies of the grade 11 STEM students in pre-calculus, describe the pre-calculus learning strategy of the following students: low-performing students, average students, and mathematically inclined students. And the last one, determine how the learners attributed learning strategy to their performance in pre-calculus. Moreover, there are 3 sections of STEM students at TNCHS. These are composed of 49 students from STEM 11P, 50 students from STEM 11Q, and 50 students from STEM 11R. The total number of STEM students at TNCHS is 149. Out of 149 STEM students, the study will only focus on 9 students. 3 students per section will be selected as participants of the study. The 3 students per section should be composed of low-performing student, average student, and mathematically inclined student. And this will also focus on solo learning, paired learning, and group learning. This study will utilize a qualitative design, specifically a hermeneutic phenomenological study. 2 types of qualitative data will be collected for the study: the audio recordings of the structured interview and focus group discussions, and the last one will be the memoing. This study will use the simplified version of Hycner's 1999 5 steps or phases of explicitation process. The type of coding that the researcher will be using is an in vivo coding. First, we'll emphasize the unique own experiences of the participants on their learning strategies in pre-calculus. The second phase, the researcher will get the most salient points on the interview to the participants. The researcher will cluster the most salient points on the interview based on the different emerging themes on the third phase. The researcher will validate, check, and modify all the emerging themes on the fourth phase. And the last one will be the final phase that will focus on looking at the common themes. For the results and discussions, the learning situations and strategies of grade 11 STEM students in pre-calculus are self-study, paired study, and group study. Few mathematically inclined STEM students prefer to do self-study at home and sometimes in school if there are free time. Searching on internet and watching videos on YouTube are some of the techniques of the students in studying alone at home. However, low-performing students and some average students did not prefer this learning strategy because of lacking of comprehension and understanding on difficult concepts in pre-calculus. There are two ways on how STEM students did paired study. The first one is when the low-performing students are partnered with mathematically inclined students. The second is students are paired with their close friends. It allows both students to share expertise and techniques to each other. Leaders usually facilitated group study after class, and sometimes, due to time constraints, some of the groups are doing online group study. Paired study is focus-oriented learning strategy. Paired study is the most prepared learning strategy of low-performing students. It is focus-oriented learning strategy for them since the mathematically inclined students explained all their misconceptions in pre-calculus. Diverse learning strategy depends upon learners' personality. The three average students involved in the study have different learning strategy. Group study as form of interchanging ideas. Sharing expertise to others and facilitating a group study is a worthwhile contribution of mathematically inclined students for the progress of the performance in pre-calculus of STEM students. Group study encourages learners to ask questions about complex related mathematics problems. Solo, paired, and group learning strategies help learners in improving performance in pre-calculus. This was evident in the results of summative assessments and the active participations of the students during the discussion proper. It develops confidence and reduces anxiety level of low-performing students in Mathematics 11. Now for the conclusion, the learning situations and strategies of grade 11 STEM students in pre-calculus are self-study, paired study, and group study. Paired study is the most preferred learning strategy of low-performing students. It reveals that it is focus-oriented learning strategy since the mathematically inclined students explained older misconceptions in pre-calculus. Average students have diverse learning strategy depending upon the personality of an individual. It illustrates the possibility that an average student has the ability to do self-study, paired study, and group study as learning strategy in pre-calculus. Number 4, mathematically inclined students are doing both self and group study because they are studying lessons at home and at the same time share their expertise to the low-performing students. Solo, paired, and group learning strategies help learners improving performance in pre-calculus, as revealed on the summative assessment of the students and during the focus group discussions of the students on the interview. Thank you and God bless.